Am I a joke to you people? What do you people take me for? No, seriously, what do you people take me for? How dare you? Okay, people should not mind me. I'm just trying to ginger myself. I'm trying to raise my energy or my tempo because the conversation that I want to have is kind of like a serious one. So I'm trying to, So a few weeks back, I lost an uncle. And this uncle is or was very close to my dad. They grew up together. And before my uncle died, he had been in the hospital for a bit. And it was hard for my dad. So I actually had a long conversation with my uncle's son, my cousin. And we talked about different things. And he told me about how my dad reacted with the whole his cousin being in the hospital and then the death and stuff like that. He told me that a few times my dad broke down and cried. And I tried to think about it from my dad's perspective. This is someone that he knew from when the guy was agile, when he was still very young, before he started his family. And my uncle died. I think my uncle was about maybe 90 or late 80s. I think 90. So that means my dad has known him for the better part of what, 70 years probably? No, actually no, all through his life. All through his life, because they grew up together. I mean, they're cousins. And I'm sure that, and I didn't have this conversation with my dad, but I'm sure that while my dad watched him in the hospital, my dad remembered all they've been through. So think about when he was a young man, when he was probably a child, a teenager, and then getting married, having his children, all the achievements, all the goals, and then seeing him in the hospital and watching him shrink or watching him get ready to meet his maker. I think that would have also brought mortality to my dad, because my dad is not young. My dad is, in his 80s. And outside of seeing how your body has gone through these different changes, you're watching someone else, you're also probably thinking about your own life. And there's this thing that my dad always says. He says, I've lived my life, I'm going out. By going out, he means, nobody leaves the world alive anyway. So he means he's getting closer to when his maker will call him. And he says, you live your life now. You are here now. You live your life. And I try to put myself in my dad's perspective of how he must have felt watching his cousin go through that, watching him at the hospital day in, day out, and just trying to marry who he was before he had to be in the hospital. So it just gives me, there's this thing that people say, Arun Mado Buaja. That means somebody's body is sand. And I don't know if you're Catholic, we also say, from dust we came and to dust we shall return. This life is all the things that we're chasing, all the things, all the achievements, the degrees. We can't take them, and everyone probably has said this. But when you're in the rat race, you're like, I'd rather have it and be comfortable and make ways for my children. I just hope that people are finding time to make memories, to live, to enjoy things, to not let the rat race drown them. And I also want to use this video as a medium to ask you if you are privileged to still have your parents with you. Both parents, mom and dad, or even one parent, if you're privileged to still have them. Perhaps if they are like my own dad, who is getting older and older, you should start thinking of questions you would like to ask them. I'm a millennial, so growing up, my generation were respectful of their elders. They were respectful of their dads, moms, uncles, and aunties, but then there was always a distance. We didn't know them to their core. But as we are parenting now, we try to do differently and be more emotionally present for our children. If your parents are still there, I would like to use this to give you a task to find how to emotionally reconnect with your parents. So think of a list of questions that would get your parents opening up, talking more. Questions like, what was your childhood growing up? What was your favorite food when you were a teenager? Who was your best friend? Who did you have a crush on? Did you ever ask your dad if he had a crush on a girl that wasn't the person he married? Who was his best friend? What were the dreams that they had before adulting, before they had to be responsible? If they were to be reborn, that's if you believe in reincarnation, and they had the opportunity to draw their life, what would it look like? If they were born in this era of digitization, or the internet, what career path would they follow, or where would they live? What was it like raising children? Did they ever feel lonely? How do men carry loneliness? How do men carry intimacy? What is intimacy to them? What are their regrets, if they have any regrets? What are they proud of? And if they still have their friends, how were they able to maintain that friendship? And then to your mothers, how did they navigate survival, economic of marriage? How did they maintain friendships? Who did they have a crush on? Because, if they will even tell you. Who is their best friend now? Who was their best friend growing up? What was their favorite color? What was their favorite food? What dance did they dance? What was their dressing like back then? Were they one of the people that wore short dresses and abola? You remember abola? Those high block shoes. Did they wear that? Did they go dancing? So maybe not clubs, but did they have dance groups that they joined? Were they doing church theater or church drama? Have fun with them. Ask them those questions. If your parents is the drinking wine type or drinking beer, you can have beer with them. Even if they're not there in person, if it's by Zoom, maybe you can have a date night with them, make it something different. I feel like these conversations are good, especially if you still have them, because when they are gone, you would wonder. And another bonus, if you can record the conversations, record them. I have been privileged to talk to, on my podcast, Get Intimate with Ebele, to friends who have lost loved ones. And we talked about memory, how memory can be fickle. You remember so many things, but sometimes, how sure are you that you remember the voice of your loved one or something they've said? You can even do the family tree with them, but record those conversations. Bonus if you can do a video, but if you can't do a video, at least do audio. You would have the pictures, or pictures do not have sound. You would want to immortalize the voice of your loved one. And I'm using this medium to make it a reconnection exercise. And I hope you're able to do the same, because like I said, Arom Madubuaja, from dust we come, from dust we shall return. So I look forward to the warmth that comes from this reconnection that you have with your loved ones. And it's not only for just parents, could also be your loved auntie or your uncle or your grandparents if you're still fortunate to have them, your older siblings that sacrificed a lot. But yeah, paramount now will be the older ones who have less time with us, that we would believe have less time with us. So, okay, bye.